Hi, this is a response to Pogobat's response to VenomFang's proving the existence of God. First, would like to say I appreciate the fact that you had no real vulgarities or obscenities or anything like that. Your tone in the video was very polite and kind of conversational, and it was very helpful. I normally see a lot of strangely hostile videos in responding to Christians, and I don't understand why. Well, I do understand why, but it doesn't seem logical to me to be hostile towards a religious belief. Anyway, I appreciate that you didn't do that. Now to respond to your video. First of all, the whole idea that the leap of faith is what Christianity is all about is absolutely untrue. The term leap of faith actually was coined not by any early church figure or any biblical understanding, but rather by a man named Soren Kierkegaard, who was a theologian back, I believe, in the 17 or 1800s. What was going on, he was a Danish theologian, I believe, although I could be wrong. What was going on is that there was a lot of stale religious stuff. Not that religion is bad, but these people were not really believers. They were just kind of going to church and just doing the church thing. But not being believers. And so to fix that, he started bringing in existentialism into the church. Bad things, but oh well. So he brings existentialism into the church, and he basically developed this idea that there was a phenomenon. There was two realms: the phenomenal realm and the noumenal realm. The phenomenal realm is where we are. It's the realm of phenomenon, sight, sound, touch, etc. The noumenal realm is where God, spirits, angels, demons, etc. They all belong in that realm. And he said that you really couldn't bring the phenomenal realm into the noumenal realm. You had to take a leap of faith, and that's where we get the term leap of faith. He was saying you have to leave logic and reason and all those stuff behind and just kind of blindly jump. So that's not a biblical idea, and I really wish that he hadn't come up with these ideas because they're wrong, just flat out wrong. And the church has suffered greatly because of it, because now people use that term, even Christians, well-meaning, well-intentioned, say that Christianity is just like a leap in the leap of faith, and that's totally not the case. Anyway, Christianity is about propositional truths. It's about the cross of Christ. That is something that is you can debate whether you believe it happened or not, but you really can't debate its status as either a truth or a non-truth. True or lie. It's not an opinion. It's not a faith feeling. It's not whatever. It's a matter of truth. And the Christianity is based in truth. It deals in truth. It doesn't deal with opinion or feelings or whatever. Despite what even some Christians would say, unfortunately. Now, to some of what you said, I agree that you can't technically 100% totally prove God. I would argue that all of creation points to God pretty loudly. I would argue that man basically knows that God exists. I would argue that everyone knows that God exists. The problem is they don't want him. They don't like him very much. As a matter of fact, they hate him. So, that's the thing that always gets me. Why are we arguing about the existence of God? We should just be telling people who God is. But anyway, another debate for another time. You use the analogy of an elephant in the car, and you tried to show that that is analogous to God in a universe. With all due respect, that fails, because the elephant in the car, well, first of all, it fails in your favor. First of all, because the elephant in the car, you can look in the trunk and go, oops, no elephant. You can't open up the trunk of the universe and go, there's where God's been hiding. Second of all, God's not been hiding anywhere. We couldn't put him in a trunk. But that's quasi-facetious, so don't worry about it. Also, it fails in the sense that you said that it's an absurd notion, just as absurd as the elephant in the trunk. Well, no, it's not really absurd. It's pretty logical to assume that if things exist, they exist because something caused them to exist. The whole idea of, everything has a cause. So if things exist, something must have made it exist, and if it exists, something greater than it must have made it. Something wiser than it, something more powerful than it. Now, I don't think you could necessarily logically conclude that it must be all powerful or all wise. I don't think that's. I think that's kind of a stretch. It would be fantastically wise and fantastically strong, but not necessarily all wise or all strong. Um, from that argument alone, I mean, obviously, Scripture argues that God is all strong and all wise. But yes, so it's not really an absurd argument. It's a pretty sound argument. And then you made something that really confused me when you said that there could have necessarily there could have been an infinite amount of time before now. That's not true. It's not true at all, as a matter of fact. You said, well, because infinity is not something that can be measured. Okay, well, that actually hurts your case, not helps it. Because if an immeasurable amount of time happens before now, well, then it's still infinite. It's still immeasurable. It doesn't end. The whole point of infinity is it doesn't have an end or a beginning, even. So if there's an infinite amount of time, an immeasurable amount of time as you define it, before now, then now never could have happened. We are never going to reach this now. Now is kind of a red herring, because time, it doesn't progress because it's infinite. I would argue, and this is maybe beside the point, I would argue that the only real being that's infinite would be God. And this is, I know, assuming that a God exists, but and to be infinite, you have to be changeless. You have to be unable to progress and grow. Because if you progress and grow, you change, and change includes time, and infinite means there is no end or beginning, there's no time. And so, the idea of infinity, it's kind of difficult, but you can't say that infinite time happened before now. Well, even to say before is to disprove the infinity. So yes, I think what he was trying to say was correct, and I'm not sure that what you were saying in his response, or in your response to him, was all that sound. Anyway, I say a lot of words to say very simple concepts. Unfortunately, I'm very long-winded, and I apologize. That's really all I have to say at this particular point. I look forward to any possible responses, and God bless.